Hello, it's Marlena. I hope you're well. Today I want to talk to you about how to stay mentally healthy during tough times. I'm going to share my 3 top tips, my 3 secrets with you, and those are the things I found the most helpful. So whenever there's been times of stress in my life, and unfortunately there have been many, you might be able to relate. I used to have experienced a lot of anxiety, a lot of distress. There was conflict because I was just like not knowing how to express myself properly. There was despair, there was panic, there was hopelessness, there was embarrassment for not knowing how to deal with things, and then ultimately there was shutdown, where I kind of disconnected. I was numbing. I tried not to feel what was going on for myself, and that left me, feeling very disconnected from myself and other people. So there was this constant, sense of loneliness and not being supported in life and by others. But since then I have found 3 ways. I found more ways, but the 3 best ones, the most effective ones, are the ones I want to share with you. And the first one is learning to stay present. And by that I mean, when you have got all that noise going on in your head, or you're watching the news and it's just bad news, more bad news, and you feel like you're spiraling, your anxiety is increasing, you're starting to feel in your body more and more tight and choked up and unable to breathe. It's a sign that you are not present to what is actually happening around you. It's like you're in your head. When we're in our heads, we struggle and we suffer. So we have to learn to get present. So whenever you notice that you're getting more distressed, take a break. Pause, get still, and reconnect with what is happening. So how I do it is I think, okay, for example, right now I'm in this room. I've got some lights on me. I'm looking at a screen, a camera. I'm talking to you. I hope that you find my information useful and helpful in your life. So I'm also noticing what's going on in my head. But initially I would say focus on what is going on around you. Maybe do a body scan. Feel the temperature in your body. Feel the areas that are light and open and the ones that feel more restricted. Do any kind of grounding technique to get present, so that you give yourself a break from the stress in your mind. Okay, so that's the first thing. Get present. Find different ways on how to get present. Slow down. Give yourself a break. The next thing is a big thing. I always feel like I could write books and books and books on it. It's about learning to feel and validate our feelings. So very often, especially during challenging times, when lots of difficult feelings come up for us, or if we are confined to a space, or we have to stay at home, for example, it can easily happen that we feel overwhelmed by our feelings. That is not a nice experience. I have had that many, many times, too many times to count, and way too many times to remember. And I hope that it's different for you, but obviously we're all human. We all have those experiences. So if you feel like you're getting overwhelmed by your feelings, it is a sign that you don't know how to respond to them, that you fight them, you avoid them, you try to control them, you try and distract yourself from them. You're not trying to understand them. But you can only understand them if you're willing to feel them. And the easiest way to allow yourself to feel your feelings is to learn to validate them, which means you don't make yourself wrong for feeling how you feel. That is the biggest thing ever, I think. That we, even in conversations with my clients, I hear it all the time. Oh, I feel like this, but I shouldn't feel like that because blah, 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 blah. We have 100 reasons why we shouldn't feel how we feel. We're making ourselves wrong all of the time, and that means we're invalidating ourselves. We're invalidating our feelings. We are invalidating our experience. And it is not something that benefits us mentally, emotionally, as a whole human being. Because our feelings are responses to our thoughts. So sometimes we're not aware of it. It's like, oh, I just had the feeling, there's no thought connected to it. That's what might be subconscious. It might be out of your awareness, and that's okay. But feelings are nothing to fear. They're not problems until our mind says, oh, this feeling is a problem. You shouldn't feel it. And that is unfortunately very often something we were taught as children. When our anger wasn't welcome, when our sadness was discouraged, when, our feelings were seen as an inconvenience and other people tried to suppress it or shamed our feelings or punished them, then we learn to dissociate from our feelings, to, disconnect from what's going on for us. And it leaves us feeling out of control because there's nothing we can respond to. Because, you've taken our information away from us. So staying healthy during difficult times involves you learning to feel your feelings, allowing yourself to process those feelings, which just means kind of not fighting them, not avoiding them, which is difficult when you're at home, for example, because there are not that many distractions. So it's harder for you to fight, and you definitely have to learn to validate the feelings, which means you normalize and you empathize. You say, okay, it's okay to have this feeling. Any human with those kinds of thoughts or with this kind of experience or in this kind of situation would feel that feeling. It's okay. That in itself is reassuring, it is soothing, but it is a practice you need to continue to practice. It's something all my services and courses strongly focus on, so if you need any help with it, let me know. It also leads to the third top secret that I would like to share with you, which is if you're busy fighting your feelings, if you're trying really hard to avoid them, to control them in whatever way, your focus is on that. Okay, you're focusing on the negative, and that is what you will experience. So your experience will be very uncomfortable. However, when you learn to, not make your feelings problems, then it creates space. And what is really important to stay mentally healthy during difficult times is to engage in something meaningful for you. That can be anything. You can choose something fun, something silly, something creative, something lighthearted. You can come up with your new project. You can focus on being productive, work. You can focus on, creating healthier relationships with you and your family. You can, it can be anything. Like everything. You can have anything you want. You can choose so many different things, but choose something. Try something. If what's meaningful to you is having different experiences, don't let the situation confine you and restrict you, because you have many different options. So, for example, you watching this video is one thing. I hope you find that, helpful. For me, it is meaningful, which is why I am doing it. Staying mentally healthy means, maintaining my sense of purpose. And it's the same for most people. We all want to feel like we're useful in some way. We have got a purpose. We're on a mission. We're doing something valuable. And there are so many different things in which you can create that for yourself. It's just about you giving yourself the opportunity to do that. You will not have the space in your mind to do it if you're preoccupied with avoiding your feelings, not taking care of yourself, not being present, and being like stuck in your head. So that's why this is really important to practice. Getting more present, learning to feel and validate your feelings so that you can engage in something meaningful in your life, and you can use your time wisely no matter where you are, no matter what restrictions are imposed on you. Okay, so I hope you find that helpful. Give me your feedback in the comments if you have any questions. I always love to hear them. And thank you so much for watching. If you want to have more personal help, join my membership group or check out my services. I'm always happy to connect with you. Take care of yourself, and thanks again so much. Bye.